Hello to you all. I hope you all survived the Scorpio season. It was really, really intense for many people around me and also for me. So I hope you are safe and sound and that you are able to make space for something new to come now. Because we have this new moon, which is, I think it's it's quite a bubble of hope. So, and I think we need that. We need that bit of oxygen to be able to breathe again and to expand our chest and fill it up with oxygen so that we can face everything that is coming up. And so here we go for this new moon in Sagittarius. It happens on the 23rd of November. So in Portuguese time, it happens, it's 3 minutes to 11 p.m. So it's quite late. And in my perspective, this is a wonderful new moon. So it happens exactly. Apologies because I'm I'm looking at the charts as well. So it happens on the first degree of Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, which is also is still in the last degree of Pisces, and it's turning direct. So it has been retrograding since I don't know exactly when. I'm guessing July or something. My memory is not so good. And it's now turning forward again. So it's good because Jupiter is also a ruler for Pisces, an ancient ruler for Pisces. So it's comfortable. So everything is positive here, and it's connected, positively connected as well. So I see this new moon as one that after this eclipse season and this Scorpio cycle, where we were, brave enough, hopefully, to dig deep and clean everything that was stagnant or that was toxic or that was rotten in some way in our lives. And so we now have space to finally fill in with new opportunities, with new experiences, with new perspectives of ourselves or of the world, new knowledge. But most importantly, we have finally the space to, as I said, to breathe in fully again and take all the air and feel the excitement and the expansion of our hearts again, of our hope coming back to us, and able to see also to look at this past months or this past year and see how far we've come and all the challenges that we overcame and everything that we have already and how much we have evolved, how much we have grown. So this ability to look backwards and celebrate how far we've come, and again make space for new achievements. I don't like the word achievement, to be honest, but yes, to new dreams, to new experiences, to new perspectives of myself. And I think that's the most important thing is finally I got to be in contact with things that were uncomfortable for me, from things that still hurt or that still triggered me, and having this ability to face them all over again and to understand that now I can relate to them differently, or I can just behave in a different way, or I can take the weight out of it, by just looking at it from a different perspective, or relating to it from a different perspective. So having this ability to just make this shift opens me up to different ways of also relating to myself and to the world, and to, most importantly, to the people around me. So I think this is crucial for me to to get back to enthusiasm and to passion, to fill this up again, to fill my life again with things that excite me. So focus on anything that is creating this willingness to be with people again, to learn new things, and to be sociable, to be out there, to be in the world, exploring and conquering, or just putting myself in new experiences. Because now I know, now I have this ability to see how I have the ability to look backwards and just see everything that I've everything that I let die, and how brave I was to just face it and to go through it. So this, for me, I think it's a wonderful new moon. Also, again, because Jupiter is in Pisces, and Jupiter, he represents the guru, or the master. So it's this ability to turn knowledge into wisdom. And knowledge isn't just knowledge will translate into wisdom by one's experience. So it's only by you living what you living what you preach, that it turns into wisdom. It's by your experience, by your practice and devotion to that practice, or devotion to that wisdom, and to that knowledge. So, and you only do that by committing to those beliefs, or by committing to that perspective, or just by believing in that dream, or in that vision of the future. So this is, for me, a crucial moment that connects us to our faith, and this ability to dream again, to, despite the odds, to still believe that I can create something that I'm envisioning, or that I'm dreaming of. So it's not just believing because I can see it. Is believing because I know I am able to get there. I trust my ability to get there. I trust my braveness. I trust my courage. I trust my focus, and I trust my hard work. So I trust myself to get me there. So I think this, for me, is the most important thing here, is to focus on this ability to dream, and to have faith again in life and in myself. And it basically just gives us this new bubble of oxygen to breathe again. So yeah, I think it's really powerful after this cycle of Scorpio. But and it's not that this spot is like super huge, but we may not forget ourselves that we still have Mars retrograding in Gemini, and it's going to stay there up until, I think, late January. And it's in a square aspect with Neptune. So, well, retrogrades, just on itself, any retrograde movement basically translates the need to reevaluate, to review, to be a little bit more cautious in this case, in our movements, in our decisions, in the steps that we take, in our impulse to act. So again, it's a moment that we have to be a little bit more cautious. It's not that we need to stop everything in the same way that we shouldn't stop communicating when Mercury is retrograding, but we should be a little bit more cautious and a little bit more mindful, because Mars in Gemini tends to require the full speed, and the full speed of decision, the full speed of communication and of interaction, and of movement. So of moving from one place to the other. And now it's not the time for that. Now it's the time for us to be very mindful of our priorities and of our decisions, and of where those impulses to act are coming from. So here, for example, is we need to observe where those impulses are coming from, because we may just we may just act in one direction on one moment, and we find ourselves like quickly afterwards just realizing that that was not the way, that was not the right decision. And so it makes us quite unreliable for that. So this is a moment that kind of increases volatility. So, and it depends on us to also reduce that. On one hand, when it happens, it's not about beating ourselves up. It's just about accepting that sometimes we also are driven by that, and we are human. So it's okay, but we have to also learn by that and understand that maybe we were just responding, or rather reacting to an impulse that is coming from something that is deeper, something that is missing, something that we would like to happen and is not happening. So we try to compensate for that, or someone that we would like to have around us, and we would like to be speaking with, and is not here. So I'm compensating for that, going to another person. So it can translate into many different ways. But basically, it's just for us to. And also in the square with Neptune, of course, it brings the shadow side of this aspect as well, which is increasing confusion and, well, basically lack of discernment in all ways. So we need to cultivate everything that, improves our creativity, but mainly that keeps us mindful as we can. Especially if we are just, if we have a big decision to make, of course. The bigger the decision we have to make, or the bigger the impact that we want to create, the more mindful we have to be. So this is something that we might pay attention to. Because as I said, in this Sagittarius openness, and willingness to just go and discover the world within ourselves, or the world around us, we may just be too impulsive. So, and then misleading ourselves into one direction that is not the right one, and then finding ourselves in this position of having to change everything or go backwards, and it may bring a lot of frustration in the process. So of course we also have to learn to deal with frustration as well, and accept that for what it is. But mostly that frustration will just teach you to reduce the speed, basically, and to be more mindful of where those impulses are coming from. So we have to be mindful of this. Also, the other aspect that I'm really glad to see in the sky is the conjunction in between Mercury and Venus, also in Sagittarius. So we have the full power in Sagittarius. All the adventurers and all the all the philosophers out there are like really amplified at this time. Wherever you have Sagittarius in your chart, that area is going to be at full speed. And at full speed and at full focus. But so this aspect, in my perspective, is quite interesting because Mercury rules actually Mars. So because it rules Gemini, it rules communication and movement. So Mercury here in Sagittarius, which is the opposite sign, it might get some kind of it might get uncomfortable if, for example, you have in your birth chart, if you have Mercury in Gemini, you may feel quite uncomfortable at the moment because it's like it's asking you to integrate a lot more focus in your life and a lot more assertiveness. And basically like question your values and question your beliefs and your knowledge and your wisdom in all interactions that you have. And so you may feel like pushed into taking a stand and build your opinion and speak about it, be open about it. So this may be a little bit uncomfortable, but I think it can actually help the Gemini, the Gemini folks here, because it actually integrates both. So Gemini can be, or Mercury here can be quite undecisive and superficial and in whatever it gets into, or because it's too flexible. It can be too flexible intellectually speaking, also to not make a fuss, to not take a stand, and so not getting into any situation that can be uncomfortable. So it just gets like in this very superficial way and moving according to everyone's opinions. And here it gives it the focus and the ability to be open, stay flexible to everything that it's out in the world, but still having its own position and having its own ideas and its own ideals and perspectives. Still, again, being open, but not focusing or not changing according to what people think, to what others think of him or whatever. And not just to be cool, you know, not just to be cool and not make a fuss. So this is something that can be really, really an opportunity to integrate this too, the flexible side of Gemini, but also the focus and the assertiveness of Sagittarius. And then by being conjunct Venus also in Sagittarius is this ability to communicate openly with everyone, and this need to also be out there and be able to communicate with everyone, to adapt to everyone's language, let's say, and be kind and enthusiastic to everyone. And again, also to bring that enthusiasm and that inspiration to everyone. So it's about this like two ways inspirational side. It's this ability to feel inspired by others and to be open to receive information, or the speech of others and the enthusiasm and the passion of others, but and the excitement, but also to pass that along, to speak about what passionates me, or what excites me, and having this mutual this mutual this exchange, really, this exchange of hopes and of dreams and of perspectives, of visions that enlarge me. And so this can be really, really a moment that, after especially the Scorpio season, that can be like quite private and and intimate. Now we are ready again to face the world, and we are willing to face the world, and we are willing to be faced with change and with something that is new to us. So it's like we feel open again with our chests really, really open to receive and to be challenged in some way, to conquer our dreams or to see different worlds, and mainly just to see new perspectives of ourselves. So this for me is really a nice a nice bubble of fresh air, and also because it's connected with Chiron. Chiron is in Aries still. And so, well, Chiron, the wounded healer, being in Aries, basically is, we can speak about it as the wounded warrior. But here it's connecting so fluently with Mercury and with Venus in Sagittarius, is kind of reminding us, or it's like another invitation to really to really own and recognize and value our strength, like looking backwards and being able to see everything that we overcame, as I was speaking in the beginning. We've all done so much, and we've all changed so much, that we cannot see the warrior within us in the same way that we saw a year ago or months ago. We have to look at it in a different perspective and celebrate it. And so it's in some way, it's like we are discovering a new warrior within us. And we are being able to meet it and to acknowledge, and to put it out, So again, it's like reinforcing, I think, our braveness, our boldness as well, and our courage and our trust. I think more than anything, it's like it's bringing this topic of Venus, of security or of safety. It's like we can now feel safe, because we know that we can handle whatever it is that is coming ahead, and we know that are still many more challenges coming ahead, especially, well, given everything that is happening in the world at the moment, and the consequences that is already showing in the financial and economic theaters. So we know that there are many challenges coming ahead of us. We have no clue of how hard it's going to be, but still, given everything that has happened in the past, in this past year, and especially in this past months, we know now that we can trust ourselves. We can trust our strength. We can trust our courage, of building ourselves up over and over again. So it may be tiring, but still, it's more than worth it. And maybe we can also realize that, yeah, in the way, some dreams or some perspectives or some visions that we had may have fallen apart along the way, but also new ones actually have arisen, and who knows, but they may actually be even better than we could actually dream of before. So we never know. If I, yeah, personally, I could never think of, yeah, I could never think of such a wonderful life that I would have now. I would say like 5 years ago. So it's not so long, and still here I am. So sometimes we need to look back and see this. And so I think this aspect in between Venus, Mercury, and Chiron here is, yeah, it's allowing us to see that for once, to honor that for once. So I hope you can stay connected to this hopeful and optimistical side of this cycle that the cycle is bringing to us, and yes, trust yourself and trust and stay very mindful, of course, always as mindful as you can, but also very hopeful and trustful of yourself. And yeah, we'll see each other again in the full moon. Bye.